This is the epicenter of audio frequency entertainment.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Can't get enough of it.
Oh, yeah. You guys are the best.
Heffron and Reep.
I love you, love you, love you.
The Heffron and Reep Show.
They're coming out of the hills to conquer the world.
You think your little Euro trash ride can beat my American muscle?
John Reep and his mullet mafia pit muscle against import in an epic 3-round battle for a $10,000 paycheck.
He's gonna ram that American muscle all the way down your throat. Don't mess with rednecks, man.
Are you faster than a redneck?
Bring it on.
Catch a special preview after the trucks race, February 22nd, only on Speed.
Heffron and Reep. Shameless plugs.
For the love of God, please come see us live. All right, that's how we pay the bills, basically. We're doing this for free. You can come see me. I'm going to be in Virginia Beach pretty soon in April. Also going to be in Nashville, Chattanooga, Knoxville, all over Tennessee, and then I'm going to be in Marion, North Carolina. That's not too far from Hickory. You can get all those dates at heffronandreep.com if you check out the tour dates tab. Also, my buddy, mi amigo, John Heffron, in the month of May, he's going to be in Kansas City and in Atlanta. Go see him at the Improv and the Punchline. Am I right? Did I get those right?
I'm good. I'm just curious. Well, you have the same ages. How do you get to be in Tennessee back to back to back? That makes way more sense than how I would do it. They would have me go to Virginia Beach and then Guam and then to Nashville
Right.
and then to Russia and then back to Chattanooga. Like, well, however you do this, John Reep, you're doing it way smarter and
I
more
don't know.
effective
Your agents
than
are
me.
looking out for you. They want you to get those freaking flyer miles. So you're
guess
getting
so.
more miles than me.
I'm
So
not bragging.
taking.
I was executive platinum within 3 months.
I hate you.
How about that?
Wait a second. Are you, because they're merging, are you going to get a lot of miles with American and U.S. Airways, that huge merger? Are you going to be like George Clooney now, up in the air?
I already have I am exactly 17,000 miles away from 2 million miles.
All right, I hate him.
That
All
might
right,
sound
folks.
cool, but I want you to ask me later, am I happy?
All right, so that when you go see John Heffron live after the show, go up to him and ask him if he's happy.
Yeah, that'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to shake our hand and go, are you happy?
That's it.
Moving on.
I always feel safe. I always feel like my kids can listen.
Most definitely.
It's awesome.
It's just plain family fun.
This is the Heffron and Reep Show.
We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city.
Yes, you're listening to another awesome episode of the Heffron and Reep Show. As always, I am John Reep, the 50% towards the back end, and sitting right here in front of me, the man with the Detroit hat and a little bit of scruff on his face.
Try.
John Heffron is here.
What's up, yo?
This episode is very, very focused. This one, we're naming this one "How the Best Way to Lose Weight." And for me, I'll just start. I think the best way to lose weight is to eat less,
Okay.
exercise more. Okay, now I just came up with that off the top of my head.
That's good.
I don't do that all the time.
You should put together like a weight loss program, like an infomercial.
Eat less, do more.
Yeah.
I like it.
You know, it's amazing how much I can eat. I think I'm definitely like fat skinny.
Yeah.
If that's a thing.
No, that's what I am. You're not fat skinny. You're just you're like average to athletic. You're right in the middle of
But I have
average
a gut.
athletic.
I'm like, I have chicken legs and a gut, which
Right.
is like fat skinny.
Yeah, but my gut's bigger than yours. So what am I then? If you're going fat skinny, what are you calling me? Lard ass skinny? Fatter skinny?
I don't know if I would put skinny in your in your thing.
Son of a bitch.
But because you're not fat, but you're not.
No, I ain't
have you ever
skinny
been
either.
called? Maybe when I've seen high school pictures of you on your
Yeah.
Facebook page going
I
to
was-
prom and stuff. You were skinny then.
Yeah.
You were skinny like.
Well, but back then I wouldn't have said I was skinny. I would have said I was muscular.
Because I go by skinny how people's legs look.
Oh, right.
And
I'm walking around pipe cleaners, my friend.
I inherently have always had chicken legs, and when I was growing up, people would always go, like, that was the thing, you make fun of me going, did your legs just get out of a cast?
Right.
So
Are you learning to walk again?
Yeah, so my
Yeah. entire,
and then what I do
They're
is
like pale and slimy.
And then what I do is I sit down, and a lot of times I'll just grab my legs and see if I can touch touch my fingers together, because you can almost with my legs.
Not
if you
the
put
thigh. Are you talking
your
calf
thigh.
area?
No, your thigh.
I bet you have bigger thighs than you.
Can you almost touch?
Touch what?
Like if you put your hands together like you're making a C.
On the thigh? No way. I can't almost touch. No.
How many inches apart are you?
Gosh, there's at least an inch on both flicks like that.
Yeah. See, I
want to touch.
I want to get leg implants.
Squats.
You can't. I think like you can't touch.
You can't touch.
I'm close, dude. I mean, you can push it.
Yeah. Push it real good.
Push it real good. Yeah. But here's it. At my age, though.
Yeah.
I'm being 22.
37. Oh, right.
22 now.
My bad.
There's no way I can do squats. There's no way you're putting bulk onto your legs. There's a point in your life where you have to go.
Squats are over.
You're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
So I see an old guy doing squats. I go,
Nobody
why?
cares.
Why?
Here's what I think you want to do is you want to be able to sit down and then stand up.
Right.
Because
those are two big ones.
Because if you then are the person who you can't stand up anymore, then eventually they're going to put you in an assisted living facility.
Yeah.
And you have nurses coming over, and that's what you don't want. So
right.
that could be a helpful hint that I would just really get into doing air squats, just so you're strong. But
so you don't.
listen,
You're not really squatting anything except for yourself.
I've never, and I've seen you do this. I've never wore a t-shirt with no sleeves on it.
Yeah, I've done that.
I don't get that. Might be a set,
which is dumb for me because I don't look good that way. But I don't care about what I look like. I really don't. I mean, to a point, not in front of you. If it's just me and you sitting here in a podcast, no one's watching. They can't see what I look like.
Right.
So I don't care how I dress in front of you. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I know what you're talking about, and especially with a guy with red hair and freckles. Yeah, it's not a good look ever.
Yeah, I've always been.
When I used
to do stand up. Oh, I still do stand up.
What was that like?
I used to. Yeah, it was,
those were the days.
I remember when I was like 18, 19 years old doing stand up. Because
4 years ago.
Yeah, because I was so skinny.
Right. Oh yeah, I've seen pictures of you, man. You were so skinny back then. Your head looks big.
Yeah, I had a V-neck, like a light, like a country club ish V-neck sweater.
Right.
You know those light ones, like cashmere.
Yeah.
That I would wear underneath my shirts
on purpose
to bulk me up,
to make you look bigger.
Yeah,
do that now?
And I probably just looked like somebody who you obviously are wearing. But I remember being on stage, and this is back. Now I'm going to age myself. This is back when you tucked in shirts.
Right.
That sounds crazy. but for some of you younger people listening, there was a time when grown men had a dress shirt and you would actually tuck it in.
Right.
Now the 40-year-old guy move is you untuck it and then you have the shirts with the shit on the cufflinks.
Yeah.
And you fold that up and you have all fancy-dancy.
Right.
Not cufflinks.
The
cuffs, the sleeves.
Yeah.
That's like a very peacocky. If you see a guy in that, and probably
showing off,
he's probably wearing shoes without laces. Because that's what you do after
Velcro?
a certain thing. No, but just like when I'm on flights, I look at how other guys are dressed.
Yeah.
And the guy I hope I don't turn into is dress shoes without socks guy.
Dress shoes without.
That's definitely a certain age.
Did you ever do that when you were in high school though?
Dress shoes and no socks, no. But that's definitely a Tommy Bahama.
Deck shoes, no socks.
Those brown ones?
Yeah. Did you do that? I did that.
I did that, but that's different than dress shoes. I see a guy of a certain age and a certain money making, like richer dudes in their like 50s wear dress shoes with no socks.
Are these strictly white guys we're talking about?
For the most part.
Okay.
Yeah. So I used to wear the sweater underneath my stuff, and then I'd go on stage. And then I'd also this was hairspray days. I'd also hairspray my hair to get the perfect feather. And then when you have hairspray on, you don't you sweat weirder,
right?
When it literally starts gushing out because you're getting no. And that
you get no air in there. It's like the spray sort of like has makes like a little helmet for you, and you sweat more almost.
Yeah. So I've always been conscious about what I wear and if stuff makes.
So there you go, folks. The best way to lose weight is to wear a sweater vest under your shirt.
Yeah. Do open
put
mics.
Hairspray all over your head.
There you go.
Don't wear socks. Wear dress shoes, and maybe move around and eat less.
That's the key.
There we go.
I also bought. Speaking of losing weight, I bought that Diamond Dallas Page.
Diamond Dallas Page. I remember that wrestler.
He's got a yoga program.
I never would have thought in a million years back then, watching Diamond Dallas Page, that he'd get into yoga. It didn't look like his thing.
It's yoga for
Wait, did he carry around a snake back then?
That was Jake the Snake Roberts.
Okay, I got those two confused.
Yeah, so I bought his yoga program because I saw a video online of this dude who couldn't walk, who was in crutches.
Yeah, I saw that same video.
And then he's doing splits and sprinting.
Right.
And I'm just always sore, so I'm like, I want to start doing yoga when I'm in my room.
Mm-hmm.
I got to start stretching.
What are you wearing Lululemon pants when you do this?
I wear see-through ones.
What? See-through?
Well, that was the big thing with those pants is that everybody.
Oh yeah, they're thinner. Do they have white ones?
I don't know.
Ladies, please. There's enough black Lululemon pants for the rest of the world to go around. Let's
switch it up to white.
Switch to white. I can see better.
Yeah,
there's more to see. You see more
but
curves.
I don't wear. Although
I'm sorry,
I own a pair of guy Lululemon shorts.
They don't exist.
Yeah, I have them, and they make my legs look skinny, so I never wear them.
Really?
Yeah.
They have those?
Yeah.
You just don't wear shorts?
They're like guy shorts.
Right. But they're not, okay, they look way different, is what you're saying. They're not like tights, like spandex.
They're not tights. No.
Yeah.
They're not. So I bought his yoga, and I'm on like day 5 of it.
Nice. And what do you think so far? Are you able to walk? Are you out of your wheelchair?
I'm out of my wheelchair.
Very
I can
nice.
get up now, and I haven't lost. I guess you could do it if losing weight, but you have to follow this eating program that I'm not a part of.
That's what always gets me, is the eating part, the diet part, because I tried. When I say tried, I mean I attempted this one day. That's
a good try. That was a valiant effort.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I gave it a good 30 minutes. What was the one? Gosh, it's the most popular one right now. What's it called?
P90X.
P90X. Thank you.
Insanity.
This one was
Sweating the
Insanity.
oldies.
This was the Insanity one. My buddy Rick got it.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I've lost like 10 pounds or whatever. He did, and I said, well, are you doing the diet too? He goes, no, but if I did, I'd probably lost like 20. It's the diet part that kills me.
How many times do you think you have to see one of those infomercials before it beats you down to actually buy it? You mean?
I don't know if that's enough times. I mean, they're on all the time.
That's right.
I'm up late at night.
So eventually, do you think you watch enough of those?
You know what I do?
Where one day you go, okay, let me just buy this.
What I do instead of just buying it is I try to cheat. Like I'll go on YouTube and see if there's like someone is like
I just work out to the
ganked it.
infomercial, like because it's on so much that it actually if you just work out in 2 or 3 minute increments in between them trying to sell you buy it, you could probably lose weight.
Are you still doing the Krav Maga stuff? Or
I haven't in a while.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
to me, you're like an in shape dude.
I'm always on the road.
Yeah.
Man.
I was. Guess who I ran into? Speaking of not in shape, I ran into someone taking a red eye from Charlotte from LAX to Charlotte. Sitting right behind me, Lavelle Crawford, the guy that came in second on my season of Last Comic Standing.
Oh, he's funny.
There's a picture. We took a picture of him, me together on the flight. He's hilarious. I've always liked Lavelle. He's in Breaking Bad now too. You ever see Breaking Bad?
Oh yeah.
He's the bodyguard of the shady lawyer guy.
Wow.
Played by what's his face, Bob Odenkirk, I think.
Yeah.
But it was good catching up with Lavelle. I mean, he was on his way to some gigs. To me, Lavelle on that show was he was a triple threat. Okay, first of all, he is funny.
He's super funny.
Bam. Number 2, he looks funny.
He's a big guy.
Big dude, big bulging eyeballs.
Big guys always
pointy head, like a cone
do
shape.
better than average guys. If you're big
with.
and heavy, you you almost get like if there was a Dungeons and Dragons for comics.
Right.
And one of your characters was big heavy guy,
right.
That's like a plus 15 of laughter. You're almost given that you're going to be funny if you weigh heavier because you have some of that stuff. You have, let me move the mic stand so you can see me.
Right,
hilarious.
Right.
And then also, if we were doing a Dungeons and Dragons.
I don't know any fat guy who doesn't do that one.
Right.
That's like in there.
Well, if you're doing a Dungeons and Dragons of comics. Right? And you somehow roll in your character that your mother is Asian.
Okay.
You also have this bit. I told my mom I wanted to be a comedian, and here's how it worked out.
Right.
Insert mom Asian joke.
Yes.
Which is always funny because I know
that Asian mom is hilarious.
But I know like 11 people that have famous bits of them telling their mom that they're going to do comedy and their mom was Asian. And here's the deal.
Margaret Cho, bam.
I don't know. Well, regardless of the names, I think.
Okay.
But here's the deal with me. My mother-in-law is Asian.
Right.
My mother-in-law is full Japanese.
That's right.
And I have not tapped into.
Mm-hmm.
I have a mother-in-law that's Japanese. Wouldn't it sound funny when I first met her? Insert joke there.
You just recycle them.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
I would probably, too, if we should maybe stick one. I would also, too, like a big character on our comedy Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
If you rolled pot smoker. Like if that was your thing.
Yeah.
Like if we would roll like characters, what you look like, you'd get away with some stuff.
Right.
And then if you roll what your weapon was. Mm-hmm. You know?
So the weapon is your...
Like what your hook, what your comedic hook is.
Right. Well, for me, we got sort of rednecky guy, right? Metro Jethro. Boom, there's me.
You could go that, Southern guy.
Southern guy. Boom.
That would be plus, what do you think that is? Not as high as I have a mom that is Asian.
Right. No,
like that's pretty high.
What did you give that one? 15?
What would you go? Let's see.
Well, you said fat guy was 15, right? Plus 15.
Out of how high do you want to go?
I don't play
20?
these games. You have
Either
to
do
me.
I. I'm making it up right now. And as we start talking about this, and the deeper in we got, I'm like, I'm gonna have to pull this out of my ass because I haven't had a Dungeon Master guide in some time. But
Mike,
let's go
do you
the
play Dungeons and Dragons? Do you know anything about this point system at all? You can just nod your head. No, okay, he doesn't know anything.
Are you agreeing with any of our statistics so far, though?
Yes.
So let's say 20. Okay,
right.
So if you're
plus 20 is the highest you can get.
If you're a fat guy.
Is 20 the highest you can get?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Okay, fat guy on stage, whatever. I would say fat guy is plus 15.
You're saying plus because he's fat?
Plus.
Like he's plus sized?
And then any ethnicity, and like here's how white people handle it. Here's how my insert ethnicity would handle it differently.
Yeah.
That's like plus
10 at least.
Let's go plus 10.
What you should do then on the fat guy is go plus 15 to 20, depending on how big.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
There's like a range.
But then if you were like...
Then you got like ethnicity 10 to 15.
Yeah, then if you were like pot guy, like if you rolled a character and that was your thing, that's like plus...
7.
Yeah, because a pot guy would go, here's a situation, and then here's how I would handle that situation if I was on pot.
Correct.
And then insert that, though. That's that formula.
Hilarious. Can't find my keys joke.
So that's a plus 7, and then what would you say? Redneck. You roll.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 5. What do you think? I'm gonna go 5. I mean, look, it comes and goes in waves. Right now, it's kind of.
I'm not saying any of these are wrong.
It's kind of hot again.
I'm not saying.
Right. We'll just go 5.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I don't think there's a right way or wrong way to do.
What's you then? What are you? Are you like?
I don't know. I'm in that weird stage where I'm just a boring.
No.
Average. Not boring.
You're talking to my friend.
Yeah.
You watch your mouth.
Listen, you son of a bitch. I'm not saying boring.
Okay.
I'm average looking, average size white guy.
Right.
So I would say that's minus. That's minus 3.
Right. Okay. Oh, I see what you're doing now. I see what you're doing, you son of a bitch. You're going to give yourself minus stuff, and then you're going to give me pluses, and you go like, see, that's how much harder I have to work, Reep. See? That's what you're doing. Smart move on your part. All right, I'm going to go -5 because I got red hair. No, that's bonus. That's more. Shit.
Yeah, see?
Damn it. Okay, but I'm also white.
Yeah, but that's just. But you're not at. But you're a category of
dude.
white.
What would be the
you
best
could be Southern white.
combination?
I'm a zero. I'm like I zero out. I'm just a white dude.
Right.
With no. I mean, I do like so.
But you've got the I come to you from the future. You got like a I'm trying to help you.
I'll go
young
like
guys
this.
out.
With me, I care about my people coming to my show, so I have relatability.
Okay.
I have nostalgia. I do a lot of remember when.
There you go.
So being connected with the audience or having them go, oh, you live my life. That's got to be just out of sheer whatever that is. I'll give myself a +5.
Well, let's do this based on this formula right here.
I have no idea. We just did all this work for no reason.
No,
I don't know what all this means.
I have a scenario now.
I don't know how we end it. Right.
I hope you're good at math because based on this scenario, my brother's calling me. Shut up, Jason. Based on this scenario, who do you think would be the most lethal comedian? Okay,
because if we were to make like
these are weapons. Remember?
Okay.
It's got to be someone who's big, who might have an ethnicity, who also smokes
weed? We didn't even factor in women in this. We've only been, we were kind of, so let's go back and address this.
All right, fine.
Okay, so, let's see. Girl on stage, because everybody says this.
What do you think? Is that a plus or minus?
I'm gonna go -1
because it's harder
immediately.
For them. Yeah.
So,
I think it's more difficult to be a female.
Just as an audience, you're going to think, okay. But then, here's the deal.
Okay.
You end every joke you do with the word abortion.
Oh.
That's a +5 because then you're alternative. Do you know what I mean? So whatever your joke is, all you have to do is go, so then my boyfriend, but luckily,
right,
I got an abortion.
Boom.
And
+5,
bam,
you're back.
+5, bam, you're back every time.
Yeah, just slit your wrist.
And you will add +2 of our character if you end every joke with #blowjob.
You say hashtag.
You say #blowjob.
Because you're current.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
So you're +7.
This is hard.
Right.
This is now we're talking about calculus and algebra.
Yeah, so then if you do some math, let me carry the 1, let me carry the thing. We're all equal. There. That's how I got out of that.
Well, I was going to say, let's just take a fat person.
Okay, oh, here, hold on. Let me go minus. Here, I'm going to say this. If you're a comic that does this, you're probably at a -3.
Right.
If you begin every joke with, "Hey, do you guys ever?
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys ever seen? Do you ever?
Yeah.
How many people?"
If you ask questions,
I'm going to say -3 because nothing drives me more crazy than
you hate that. That's a personal thing. That's you.
Personally,
right.
If there's any young comics listening, it serves zero purpose whatsoever except for training the people who are watching you to yell out stupid shit while you're going.
The thoughts of John Heffron do not represent the entire podcast.
Right? So if you ask questions, you're -3 because you're going to get the crowd who is maybe
they're just going to start yelling crap out at you.
Yeah, they're going to say, "Woo!"
You open the door for them to just be loud. Exactly. I get that.
So
all right. Well, my mind's blown. I don't
need
do
to
calculus. But wait, let me do this before you move on. Because check this out. This is how good I am at staying on track. Remember I said Lavelle Crawford's a triple threat.
Right.
I only gave you 2. There's one more threat.
There's one more threat.
Boom. Because there's someone listening and go, wait, he said triple. What's the other one?
No,
he sounds funny.
Yes.
He sounds funny. The way he talks is hilarious.
Because
if let's just say I was going to say like this Panthers hat is black. Okay, that's not a joke. But I'm going to deliver it like that's a joke. That Panthers hat is black. That's how maybe I would say it. Now here's how Lavelle Crawford said, "Man, I'm sitting here look at me, look at that hat. That Panther hat is black." Now
Funnier.
Just the way he into it, he's selling.
Now
it.
imagine this. Imagine if
really into it.
If your mom was Asian,
right?
And your mom came in and said that hat is black. Oh, that hat is black. See, never not funny.
Exactly. All right. Well, we gotta develop something then. You know, we gotta get something. I've got.
No, we need is what were those cards back in like the?
You have a Detroit.
Those magic. Those magic cards or those whatever where you'd pass out the cards and you could play like a role playing game. What were those? Were they called Magic?
I don't know. I'm not sure what you're talking about. What do you mean? Refresh my memory. Go on.
See, here I am asking a question. You guys ever see? Like that would be you guys ever play the Magic card?
-3, buddy.
And then people would clap and they go, "Well, here's my joke about the Magic card. See how that's
-3.
pointless? Just do your joke about the Magic card." But there needs to be like, we should create a comic Magic game with plus minuses type stuff. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up.
All right.
But we need action cards, like baseball cards, and then you could pit, like, we'd play, and then you would throw, like, a John Reep versus...
Oh, right.
J. Chris Newberg.
Yeah.
And then there'd be plus minuses.
Right.
Like, so J. Chris does a lot of funny songs, and then you have their Southern thing, and what would happen?
Yeah, in a battle.
And then the thing, but just as a...
It could be a board game, and you could have different scenarios. Like, you throw, like, now we landed on Atlanta, Georgia.
That's it.
Boom, throw the cards down. Who wins there? I might take that one.
And then you have these alternative guys. Like in the scenarios would be different. You have these alternative guys that perform at alternative-y type clubs that don't have normal people, that are just comics who have notebooks and they get on stage and they page through their notebooks and it's all hilarious. But what would happen if you take one of those guys and they have to perform in Pittsburgh? Guess what? It's not going to work out as well for them.
Right.
But you take a guy like me who does observational stuff and throw me in one of these trendy LA clubs where I could care less about having the drama team president think I'm fun. You know what I mean?
We'd be fun. Yeah.
So I would eat it terribly there. So
maybe. But I think you could adapt to that. I think you could dress differently. You could walk up there with a notebook with nothing on it.
And
just
a hoodie.
scribbling.
I'd wear a hoodie.
And you could pretend that you're
and
looking
I'd
at the
get a
notebook.
T-shirt
You could
from
pretend
Urban
that you're looking
Outfitter.
at the notebook and just do shit you already know.
And then I say masturbate.
Boom.
At some point during the bit, I just
throw
talk about
in
whacking off.
Hashtag masturbate.
It's genius.
All right, write that down.
And then we can have like a corporate setting where you have like a bunch of corporate people.
Right.
And then that's the scenario. And then you draw the cards and see Hollywood do.
Right.
Like Jay
always.
London, who was on my season of Last Comic.
Yeah.
Like, then you like draw his card, and then does he get out of thing? We can make a whole game here, dude.
I know.
By the way, none of any of the styles of doing comedy, I would like to say that's everybody's style, and everybody's funny.
Right. Yeah.
Before I have to deal with any douchey guys going, hey, so I heard you get pissed that women say abortion on stage. Well, you do. You say it a lot.
Yeah. And it's funny sometimes.
And then, it's
people say, like, are you a comedian? I respond to them like this. Sometimes. I'm not a comedian all day. I'm not funny all the time.
I think
I'm
inherently, I think if I have, I never started with a group of comics. Like in Michigan when I started, there were some open micers, so I had friends and stuff.
Right.
But I from stand-up from Michigan, then I started doing like hundreds of colleges.
Yeah.
And then I moved to L.A., so I never had that. I never had a click.
Right.
So maybe that's where some of my not understanding comes in.
Right.
That I've always kind of lone wolfed it.
Right.
I never had a click.
Well, I'll be your click, buddy.
I'm never
I'm your click.
That I don't feel like I'm a part of anything, so I'm by myself all the time.
You're past that now.
That'd be a fun game. I would totally play that.
And that's how you lose weight. Remember.
You do math.
Try and do math in your head with Dungeons & Dragons comedian board game.
We should totally do that with the magic card.
That's a good idea. I think that there was someone I met a long time ago who thought like that would be a great way of having a business card, but it's more of like a baseball card with your stats on it.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah.
But this is more like what would happen. You can almost have your
That's weird. Well, listen, our whole thing is we're trying to do these things in 30 minutes now. So.
Yeah, you know what? We would love our feedback of that. We've we had a big consulting group.
Yeah.
You know, me and Reep spent millions of dollars where we had just input from some of the biggest leaders around the world all got together.
Yeah.
Richard Branson, we like to do a throw out to you, super nice guy. And he sat us down and he says, listen, guys, I can really turn Heffron and Reep into something huge. Mm-hmm. Here's exactly how I did it with Virgin Mobile. Here's how I did it with Virgin Airlines. So we got to meet with him. And then we met with Dalai Lama, which was super cool.
Dalai Lama, funnier than I thought.
Funnier than I thought.
He had some good one-liners.
He was a big fan. And so they all gave us some advice. And we decided maybe for some of these episodes, we're just going to bump it down to only 30-minute increments.
Yeah, cram in the
just
funny.
to see. So we'd love to get some of your feedback. You can go to heffronandreep.com. You can email us there or leave us a voice message and saying, do you like a short?
Right.
Do you like the lovemaking with little to no kissing and right to the point?
Right.
Or do you like it drawn out with candles and some Chardonnay?
Yeah, maybe that'll be our next episode. The best way to make love.
We should do that one.
How to make love.
Tricks. And how to...
Tricks and tips of making love. Or do you want to just have the, hardcore porno-style sex?
No, let's not do that. There's
it gets a little dirty, I guess.
That's another thing I want to talk about on another podcast is porn stars with podcasts.
Yeah, what's the point? I mean, the most annoying part is listening to them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that derogatory.
And they're in the comedy section.
Exactly how it came out.
Like, they're always in the comedy section. You know what I mean? Like, of the podcast, like, can't they have just their own?
Right.
Like, give them that, because there's enough of them that do.
What section would that be? Just
they can have an adult section.
Adult, yeah, adults. Yeah.
Did I bitch a lot this podcast?
Not as much as I know that you wanted to. You did a good job. You kind of did a little bit.
Sometimes I don't mean to sound like I'm bitching. I have the greatest life ever. I don't mean to sound like I'm bitching.
No.
But sometimes it just, you take a side on a podcast to make it interesting.
Exactly. Yeah. Point counterpoint. Spy versus spy. Which one are you?
Comic who apologizes for
I'm
his
the spy.
opinion is probably -2. All right, everybody, that has been a wonderful episode of Heffron and Reep. Always go to heffronandreep.com.
Yes.
Check out past episodes. If you haven't already, would love you to leave comments on iTunes, or you can check how many stars you like it. You can check out our show button on there, and all that type of good
merchandise?
stuff. That's exactly what I was going to say next. So, as always, we really appreciate you listening, and make sure you have a wonderful life until you hear us again, and then we'll start all over.
That's right. Bicycle.
Go to heffronandreep.com for tour dates and great links. Hey, did you get that? It's heffronandreep.com. Go there now.